What is happening, people? Let's get into today. So we'll do a bit of a recap of yesterday. Obviously, I took a winning trade yesterday, a 1 to 3 on GU, which I'll walk through. I did mention that in the pre-market yesterday as well. But other than that, let's kind of get into it. So every pair is kind of playing out how we wanted. We're really in tune with the higher time frame at the moment, which is great. But it puts us in a tricky spot for today. So I didn't get a deeper retracement on EU as I wanted. For where we were, and I don't think it's going to come back down. So if I jump on the 15-minute, this is kind of where we are. We've racked off our last demand that did break through our high, and now we're making higher highs. So me personally, I think this point's actually valid. It is an extreme and an internal leg. We are now at that high, and we have induced that high. So for me, unless GU is giving us some type of divergence, which I'll have a look at now, I'm not interested. So let me have a look. So GU's in a bad point, in my opinion. That doesn't hold any weight, I don't believe. Yeah, not interested. So basically, looking into today, we've broken a new high. We could get a bit of a sell-off. I think it's very unlikely. If you look at the 5-minute, what I would need to see in order to sell is some type of move like that to then sell through that. But what I think is going to happen is we're just going to sell off. So, we're just going to buy up. In terms of areas we can look to kind of get in, we've got this extreme obviously down here, which is the mitigation of the previous extreme. You've then got this internal break with liquidity here, so nothing much we can do there. From that, we don't really have anything. So in order for me to sell, what I need to do is I need to see the 15-minute tell me that we're coming lower. So I need to more or less break through this low like this. Then to create some liquidity, take that liquidity and move away in a direction like that. If I can get something like that and a little bit of momentum built up to the downside, I am okay down to sell down to that point. But given where we are, I would say we're just coming higher. Like these are borderline equal highs anyway. So for me, EU today is probably untouchable. GU is more or less looking the same. Now GU, I am open to actually trading out of this point. So if we can slow down up to this point, taking this liquidity into this point, I am okay to actually sell off of that. I don't mind it. We have, this point is a valid demand that did create that move. We have got our internal break more or less here with a bunch of liquidity internally here. So let's mark out those new points internally here, and I'll walk through the buy in a second as well. So like that. So if we can kind of move our way up, I'm actually okay to sell this down to this point. Do I think it's likely? Absolutely not. And that can kind of be seen on the 4-hour on GU. It's played out to a T. We came in and we took that liquidity. Yes, we can come further in this point, but this entire area is a decisional, like the entire 4-hour point. So we have mitigated into induced into the mitigation of that point and pushed up. We aren't in our 4-hour point yet. It's like I said, it's given the reaction. We're bullish on the 4-hour internally. I think we're coming to this high. So I would say more or less we are. In terms of buying up to that point, I don't really see an option. This area here just should not hold. Straight up and simple there. This just won't hold. So that being we just don't have anything to induce. So for me, GU is more line off limits anyway. Now in terms of the trade yesterday, we had our break, retest, error, and push. So that was my external range. We took that medium inducement yesterday, and the entry model was really simple. So entry models is something I'll go through eventually on the channel. I've got some videos ready to go, but that'll be more or less the start of next year. So stay tuned for that. We had a break and a second break, and then I set the limit off that. We had some internal liquidity things, which I will walk through when I walk through the trade in the breakdown, which will be posted Friday. So I will obviously walk this one down, but very clean, just a 1 to 3, given it's a reversal, not something I'm expected is they're just going to take out the high. And yeah, so we waited for that yesterday. It was very clean nonetheless. USDCAD is now at the bottom point where we can buy. So we can do that. I just don't like the structure. I don't like CAD at all at the moment. We are due for a retracement. It's just not giving one. Yeah, I don't like the structure at all. Not one bit. So For me, I think it's likely we do get a bit of a buy off of this. In order for me to do so, how long will we go? We've got 25 minutes till London Open. I would more or less need price to induce. So I would need price to come in here. Like that. Take some type of liquidity here and mitigate this bottom area and then kind of go off of that. Or better yet, what we can have happen, and this will be really clean that I'll be looking out for, is that. I really do like that. So if we can get that happen, I'm actually okay to take that. I will set an alert at this low. That for me will qualify to take a buy from this area. So that is the best pair today. EU and GU basically both off limits. GU until it moves its way back up. And EU is cooked. Now AUD has now come into this extreme point, which is really nice. I would like to see it come higher in this point, so I don't think this point will necessarily hold. We've got this imbalance here with this point here, so I more or less want to come into here. But we are in the extreme now. We have major induced into that extreme, so I can remove this now. And like I said, we have major induced into that there. So we are due for a sell-off on AU now. In terms of getting that to have happen, this point here is my next area where I can buy from. Sorry, excuse me, I'm still sick. So if we can internally break here and get some move to the downside, I don't believe this point will hold. So I'm expecting that, but I'm okay to take this today. So I don't mind AU too much. I will setting an alert at the mitigation of this point. Just understand we're in a huge point. Like, it's nothing tiny, but it does make sense to give it a bit of a sell-off now. And if you look on the 4 hour, like I said, we've mitigated that point perfectly. We've taken that internal high. Understand we are bullish, so as much as this area does hold weight, and it did break the most internal low, this point won't hold long term. So don't be too aggressive until it gives us reason to sell. So realistic, I might actually hold off on AU as well unless I get some really clear bearish structure. Gold finally is selling off where we wanted it to, so I can move this up even further now. 15 minutes. We have now internally broken again, taken some liquidity, and pushed down even further. Now we did come into this extreme of the previous more or less break. And just given how bad the structure is on gold at the moment, I'm just not necessarily interested. Funnily enough, it actually makes more sense to buy from where we are. That's kind of my last 15-minute range, given we took all of that liquidity. So what I would like to see is that to come and target this high, and then we may sell off of that and continue with that selling momentum. We have induced this liquidity, so it already can buy. It doesn't even need to come all the way back down. So I'll keep an eye on it, but buyers on gold today are the go, I believe. And we'll kind of see how that goes. That'd be really nice if we can get into something and continue with this, at least this bullish leg here, to possibly come take out this high. So I will keep an eye on gold. The XY looks like it's melting off. Not surprised. Funnily enough, this actually played out perfectly yesterday. Take of those highs and sell off, and this will come and this will take this low. Okay, what we do after we take that low will be the next point of action, but that's where we're coming to today. This is played out to a T, absolutely perfect. If you remember from yesterday's outlook, so this is quite clean, and we'll kind of see what that works. So today I've rambled on a bit, but we've got EU not interested at all on the 15 minutes. So not interested at all. It can sell off. I'm just not interested. GU, I don't mind sells once we get up here. I don't mind buying through this point. There's just no way to get in. CAD, I actually really like buys off this. So I want this to internally induce up, internally induce down, and then buy. That'll be really clean. AU makes sense to sell. We just don't have any structure to work with. And then gold, I really like buys, and I'll keep you updated if I take anything on this in the Telegram. Other than that, let's have a good Wednesday. It's only the middle of the week, so plenty of price action left for the week, and be ready for that breakdown on GU. Any questions, chuck them in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, all the rest of the fun stuff. A lot more educational content coming. And I'll see you guys in the Telegram.